Okay, so what should the message be? What is the message that people have to stand up and say?
If I can jump in here, I think you have to go back to fundamental principles. You have to judge a tree by its fruits. You have to dance with the one who brung you. One of the things that happened with Montesquieu 400 years ago was he looked at all religions of the world, judged the fruits, and said, okay, I don't care where the theology is right or wrong. You don't want an Islamic nation because look at the barbarity, look at the cruelty, look at the oppression.
Well, that's before NASA, so he didn't have NASA to help tell him all the good things
exactly,
about
all the good things
of Islam.
And, you know, he went through all the religions that judge it by its fruits. Okay, America, there's no disputing we have been the most successful, most prosperous, the longest lasting nation in the world. You got to go back to the 6 principles in the Declaration, and if you cannot hold those forth as the principles that you have to rally around, you never rebuild a nation. And so you have to start. There is a God. That is a national declaration. That's not my personal belief. Our documents say it. God gives rights. Government exists to protect the rights that God gives. If you don't get those 3 things right, you won't have liberty. Then you have to throw in the 4th that there is a moral law, and the 5th is below the moral law, people get to govern, but it's below the moral law, and the 6th is that if government won't do those 5 things, you have a right to get yourself a new government. That's the whole philosophy of the Declaration, encapsulated in the Constitution, and that's what we have to rally around. If you can't go with, hey, God exists, He gave us certain rights, and government exists to protect those rights, we'll never have a country.
What church or synagogue is going to say that today? What church or synagogue is going to pound that into people's heads?
Antioch Bible Church. Without a second thought about it. Care less. I had too many threats to worry about it. I mean, I'm going to die one day anyway. Might as well go out on the flame. You know what I'm saying? I kind of figured this way, Glenn. If there's something you can only do once, enjoy it. I can only die once. So I'm going to enjoy this life, man. God and I are on fire. And I'm just excited about what's going to happen, because the greatest thing in all the world is what I believe many of the people that overcame when it didn't look like there was no way to overcome. Enemy on the right, enemy on the left, enemy in the front, enemy in the back. And you know what you do? You just turn around and look, says, we got them where we want them, let's get them.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're dealing with when they're dealing with people that really believe in God. They don't have this, like Washington, D.C., they're not running the world.
Oh,
I think God in heaven, in the third heavens, is running the world. And you and I got to believe it. And that way we do not give up, and we shout it from the mountaintop.
I love you guys. Okay, Rabbi, what is the main thing, or what is the
main thing? Obviously, what David said and what Hutch said are unarguable, vital and indispensable signposts to restoration. I think there is a crucial aspect of helping people see the Bible not just as a collection of ancient legends about primitive and anachronistic circumstances long gone, but a living example or essentially God's message to mankind. And if that's the case, then it becomes easier for all of us, I think, to take a look. And we've spoken in the past about the 11th chapter of Genesis, where the Tower of Babel is established, where the Tower of Babel, that whole, I mean, all it is an amazing 9 verses that lay the foundation of socialism.
That's right.
And I think what we've got to recognize is that everything we're looking at, everything we're declaiming, everything we are identifying as contributing to the end of everything is the result of secularization.
And there is nothing new under the sun. We will see you in Washington, D.C. tomorrow. Back in a minute.